Hi, my name is Darryl Denyes, and I'm with the Clevr team. And today I want to provide a little bit of an overview of what we're doing with several school districts in the area of case management and clinical services. So today I'm going to show a little bit of a deck that provides an overview of who we are and some of the work we're doing, and then jump right into a sandbox environment and show you some of the forms live. So Clevr is a cloud-based digital transformation solution. So school districts are about 140 school districts currently using Clevr to capture data on a variety of online forms, integrated workflow within those, and then the ability to run a wide range of reports. And we'll show some of that today. We have over 3,000 forms in flight, in operation within school districts. And we've been in this business of K-12 solutions for 15 years, and that's all we do. Our team is specialized in K-12, and all of the work we do is with school districts in the K-12 space. We think about our implementations in terms of solution pillars, and we have a variety of webinars that you could take a look at in the area of staff professional growth and development, in the area of technical infrastructure, tracking devices, deployment of SIA equipment, onboarding checklists, offboarding checklists for staff. Today's focus, I'm really going to zero in on clinical referrals and a little bit on the health and safety wellness forms that we have that are in flight in a variety of districts. So again, what we do is we have an online solution that you work with within your districts, and there can be a wide range of dashboards that the user lands on. So this is a screenshot of a dashboard as an example. And on this dashboard, there are two cards. This card is showing me the speech and language referrals. So these are students within Bayview School who have an SLP referral in motion. And you can see that there are different grades of the students, the date that it was created, the referral status, and all of these columns on this listing card are completely configurable so that you can see the data elements when you land on your dashboard. Over here is a metrics card. This is showing a different form, collaborative meetings. So again, an implementation example of where they're tracking all of their school-based team collaborative meetings. And this is showing me that there are 4 collaborative meeting records at Bayview School, but only one of them is completed. The other 3 are in motion or in draft. Now, forms in the Clevr platform can have required fields, and that's what's going on this particular form. It's showing me that only one of these 4 currently has all of the required fields populated, and that's an element that they wanted to see on their metrics card in this implementation. Basically, what we do is we work closely with districts, and they share with us what their current state is, whether it's a fillable PDF or a Google Doc, or it's in another system that's not a fully integrated enterprise system. So we understand what current state is, and then we translate those into the Clevr platform. So this particular form, it's showing the referral status tab, but in the previous tabs, there's a whole outline of the referral process. General information is where we would be pulling in information from the SIS. So you don't have to re-enter any of the guardian parent demographics, that all populates. This one has a little bit of health history that they're asking for, type of referral for service. You can upload different documents, and then there's a workflow. And I'll show this one live in the environment when we go into the sandbox. This is an example of a mental health and wellness referral. So all of our Clevr forms are designed with tabs. This one has 5 tabs. The previous one, I think, had 7. But here, this is showing me the various stages of the workflow and digital signatures. So the CERT is signing this on February 24th. And then the CERT is processing it to the next level of implementation. So all of these parts on this tab are set up with permissions so that the right people have access to the right sections of this particular tab. And that's a real differentiator in the Clevr platform. The granularity of permissions that you can have within your workflow and within your forms. This is another example where it's a psych referral, but are we looking for a psych ed assessment or a file review? And depending on what type of referral is in motion, the different content details are relevant within the different subtabs. And this is showing me that there's an authorization and a workflow process similar to the previous screenshot, but it can be designed to align with the identical workflow that you require within your districts. Here's an example of another fillable PDF document that we received from a district, and this is a school student referral where the school-based team is collaboratively coming up with what are the needs of the student. This one's set up with a series of checkboxes, but when we build it in Clevr, it can have drop downs, or when you build it in Clevr, because you can have the ability to build your own. It can have checkboxes, it can have radio buttons. So it's designed to be user-friendly and to capture data elements, whichever the most user-friendly environment is. Here's another example of a writing a clinical services report directly within the Clevr platform. So this is not a referral. The referral's already taken place. Now the SLP is in working with the student, and now they're writing a report, and this one's been designed to have all of the elements that this particular implementation wanted. General information, this is just showing what the integration with the SIS could look like. And again, I don't have to hand bomb any of this content because it's all coming in from the source platform, which in this case is the SIS. You can also have it set up, this is a communication language speech referral where classroom teachers are doing the referral, but they're also being asked to do their observations as well. So this is a rating scale. Then the CLS staff member can come in and do their observations and have quick access to see and view what the teacher's perception was. Here's just another example of how that workflow can be documented. This one actually has conditional formatting and color coding to help guide the end users in what sections of the form they're supposed to be completing. So again, this one's tracking the date the referral was received, the date the assessment started, the date of the feedback. By capturing all of these dates, they can now manage caseloads and backlog and see what the time intervals are between the different steps in the process. Just another screenshot of a social worker referral and a student profile, specifically with an Indigenous focus. And here's an example of where the assessments, we talked about the reports, the previous screenshot, a couple of screenshots ago. This is where the assessments can be done right within the Clevr platform as well. So in this case, I'm looking at a speech assessment, and in this implementation, they have predefined what some of the commonly used assessments are in the area of speech, as well as in the area of language. So again, designed to align with the requirements this particular implementation wanted to see in their assessments section. Here's another example of just a literacy screening tool. The Empower, again, different subtabs depending on the grade, pre, post, and auto calculating the difference in this particular assessment. Same form, but just another section of the past where they're filling out the details, and then some of the content is auto-populating based on the details being completed. So this is showing me that the highest correct level was L, and the levels not yet passed are H and J. And same form, the past we just looked at, the Empower we previously looked at, and this one is displaying the phonological awareness screening tools. Once the data is entered in a Clevr form, it's saved, it's there, and a report is available instantly. So here's an example of a pre-phonic screener report where this implementation, they've laid out if grade 2 and pre, or if grade 3 and post, the score in the different areas align with a matrix that says they're at the beginning, developing, or that they're at the mastery level. So as soon as the content is entered, a report like this, a heat map report, is available at your fingertips. Here's another example of a form, but this is not a student form. This is a school level form where tiered interventions are taking place in groups or whole class, or in this case, a whole school division, as opposed to individual student interventions. So wide range of tiered intervention forms currently available and in use within the Clevr implementations. Screenshot of a Vitra. So very detailed granular components within the Vitra. And this is just displaying the incident report. And this one's displaying, when I move into stage 1, all of the different details within the stage 1 and all of the possible elements. Once that data is captured, wide range of reports are available. So we've looked at the heat map report from the pre-phonic screener. This is just a donut display of the grades associated with threat incidents across this school or division. And here's a distribution by month of those violent incidents. It's a wide range of reporting functionality available within the platform. This one's showing me, if I go back to that first screenshot where I was showing the dashboard, this is the same screenshot, but now I've added a couple filters. So I want to see all the students on my SLP referral form where the status is submitted. But the SLP, so this is a section on the form called the SLP use only. So permissions are set up so that school-based teams don't have the ability to update this. But now we're looking at they're waiting for assessment consultation or they're waiting for service delivery. So these two filters show me the two students who are waiting service right now. And this is just showing a different form on this metrics card. It's a safe school incident tracking form. So let's jump into the sandbox and go for a little tour. Set up just a case management sandbox environment. Again, everything we're going to see in here is sample schools, sample students. So here's a live implementation. This is the screenshot that I took for the slide deck. Again, just orientation. We're not going to go into all the details here, but I could navigate between my forms here. So if I want to look at social worker, service, and referral form, I have one person there. I can navigate between my SLP forms. There's actually two here that we loaded. So as I navigate between my forms, student contact notes, it's showing me the students at that particular school that have a contact note. So all the forms that are available to the end user, again, are driven by the implementation requirements. So for the purpose of this sandbox, I've just loaded a few forms here. I'm not going to look at them all today, but we'll go in and take a look at a couple of them. So over here, I have the metrics card. And again, I'm looking at the collaborative team meetings that I could quickly navigate between any of these other forms and see the metrics displayed here. 3 records, but none of them are completed. So those change depending on the form that I'm landing on here. So let's go into the SLP referral. I'm just going to click on Brandon here. And the way this one's set up, again, based on tabs, they've got a referral process where they're asking to check off and follow all these steps en route to the submission. General information in a live environment, all of this will be populated from the SIS. And then they've given us some details down below here. Health history, series of checkboxes. And then if medical diagnosis, I could add the details and hit my caps. Referral details. So again, a series of check boxes aligned to exactly the way this implementation wanted it laid out. I could upload files here. They're even giving the guidance on what peripheral to Clevr forms they want uploaded. And then we get into the referral status. So here I have straight date picker. Again, referral is in process or it's been submitted. And again, just drop down elements that they wanted to on their form. Here's that SLP use only section. And again, in a live environment, school-based teams would have the ability to edit some of this, but not have the ability to edit any below details. And again, when I print that, it comes out looking like the original. If I'd added more content, there'd be more content on the printout. But it looks like the original document that this particular implementation gave us. So just to show you a different SLP referral layout, I will jump into the other one that's loaded here. And here's an example of how they wanted their demographic details coming in. And then this little pop-up just says, if you want this to come out on the printout, just check this checkbox. So the end user has the control over what comes out on the printout. Referral details, so similar to the other one, but they wanted it laid out a little differently. And then the authorization, again, if I'm a cert, I click this, it knows who I'm logged in as and when, and it auto-populates this. Now I'm going to submit this through to the principal. Principal gets an email notification, and the workflow behind the scenes is all set up. Again, if I print this one, I print the referral, it's laid out in a way they wanted a table structure down below. I'm signing off on the different sections. It knows who I'm signed in as, and therefore has my digital signature integrated within. So I'm just going to show a couple more forms, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So if I look at a health and wellness referral form, here are the students. If I go into Emily, it just shows the layout here. So this has the option. They have two different referral types. They've got a secondary and they've got an elementary. They've actually hyperlinked a peripheral document here that gives an overview of what the elementary one looks like versus the secondary. General information is all tied in here. And the referral details, again, laid out the way the client wanted it. And then some of this is already populated in the sandbox. But again, if I go to print, it prints the layout the way that they wanted this one originally, chunked into sections, table format, digital signatures. So I'm going to show one more form, maybe two, just to give you a sense of some of the different layout options. So if I go to the student contact notes, so we do a lot of work where it's continual recording of the number of times that you're working with a student. So this is just the design. And again, laid out, this would all be populated in the live environment. So because I'm in a sandbox, I'm needing to populate that. They have different locations. So this is set up as a multi-select instead of the drop-down options. That's the way they wanted it designed. And again, it could be in person, but it also could be a follow-up email, or maybe it's an online meeting. And as I populate some of the content, I have the ability to have hide show. They've got their contact notes down below. And again, these are just data elements that they wanted within their design. Here I have, actually, I'm going to see if I can find Emily, because I know we use Emily a lot in sandboxes. So data entry screen is the same. But if I look in the notes, here are all the different times that we've had a contact note with Emily. So if I want to go back to 219, click on that, It shows me the details of what took place or what was recorded on that particular day. So this is a continuous record of working with the student, and I can jump to any of the dates that I have access to and see what took place in that particular day on that particular session. So very commonly used type of form, that continuous recording framework. And the final form that I want to show is one that is not individual student based, but more the community based one. So let's see if I can find that. And again, we have psychology services, lots of different forms in a wide range of areas. So now I have schools listed. And again, based on the concept that I'm logged in as a user who should have access to all these schools. And if I go into Bayview School, it's showing me the data collection, the way it's been designed for this particular layout. So again, drop-down elements, location with school or community. They're allowing them to check more than one. Just recording the age of the participants, number of participants. So again, here down below, I can see the different other times. Instead of having a second tab over here where I could see the history, down below, if I click on this one, it pops open the details of what took place on that particular day. And the details are below here. And again, the printout was designed to look the way that the client wanted it. So lots of opportunity to configure the dashboard, to run a variety of reports. If I just go back to that SLP report as an example, what I'm seeing here is completely configured to what I want to see or what was set up by my district and then deployed to me. So maybe I want to see the submission date. Maybe I want to see that submission date up here. Maybe I don't want to see role. And I can change the status layout of any of these, apply that. And now the data elements that are appearing on my card are set up the way I wanted them to be set up. And again, I can navigate between my schools. If I switch this to Fairmount Public School, all of the cards are going to switch. So now I can see that I have 3 students here, or I can go to all locations. And I'm going to see all of the students across the division, or in this case, across the 3 schools that I, as a clinical services professional, have access to. So lots of options for reporting, lots of options to have a wide range of forms. Here's that literacy data form. And if I go into Bella Adams as an example, it's just laying out phonics screener details, the DIBELS details, the Empower. I can quickly navigate to the other forms that Bella has. I can jump over to her social work service form. And the layout here, if there's more than one intervention, I have that add button. I have my second intervention here. And they all become an integrated profile of forms for this particular student. So just here's Bella. Here are the different forms that Bella has. I can quickly jump into any one of these forms from the profile view and see the details that are there for that particular student. So that's it. That's a wrap. I'm going to just leave it there. If you're interested in seeing more forms or having access to a sandbox to play around with, please reach out to us and let us know. Thanks for your time.